Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Hey guys, it's been a minute. Been out there doing the thing, not being able to go out and see as many movies. And most of y'all guys know I'm a dad. Sometimes it makes it a little more difficult to go out there and see as many movies and stuff like that. But one thing I wasn't going to miss, M. Night Shyamalan, love him or hate him. And I get it. I get the controversy over M. Night Shyamalan. People love him. Some people hate him and everything else. I am a big fan of his. He's probably one of my top 3 directors. Decent amount of the movies that some people do not like or dislike or whatever. Like, I don't find that to be the case for me. I actually really enjoy it. Whether I love the movie, whether it's I think it's a great movie, or whether I think it's a mediocre movie, like somewhere in the middle, maybe like the 5 or 6 range. I always look back at an M. Night Shyamalan movie and enjoy the fact that I'm able to like go out of the movie theaters, and it always has me thinking, always has me using my brain, like why decisions were made and everything else. And to be honest with you, and most of his movies are also shot beautifully and stuff. Like, so like they're almost like watching a piece of art in most cases. And I really do appreciate that too, as well. I love the fact that, like, because we'll talk about it. We're going to be talking about Knock at the Cabin, which is the newer movie that just came out. And it's just from right there, it seems like, oh my God, this is going to be horrific. Look at all the stuff that's happening. Look at all the stuff that's going on and all that kind of stuff. And the biggest thing with all that is it's not as horrific as what you would think from seeing like these with these like old school style tools and everything else that they're walking up to this cabin with, and all this like home invasion kind of stuff and everything. And it is horrifying in some cases, right? Like in some points of view and in some areas of the film. But I'm not going to sit here and spoil like the whole movie and stuff like that for you. But I really just want to commend M. Night Shyamalan for doing something that he's done a couple of times. One, in the movie Signs, I love the fact that movie, instead of like covering this worldwide phenomenon of the alien invasion, he kind of stuck in this farmhouse, right? He like stayed in this one little small area or whatever. And he didn't try to just like overdo it with going at all the like crazy stuff that's going on in the world and everything else. He didn't do all that, right? He stayed in that farmhouse with that one family. I actually thought that was cool and refreshing because it was a different way to tell a tale, right? Like it or not, that was a different way. It was ballsy to kind of do a tale about aliens, like where you're basically just stuck in this farmhouse with these people. And in this, he does it again with this cabin. And he's like really super good at like shooting these locations and finding new ways to like get different camera angles and stuff, which I really do appreciate. He also kind of did that with the movie Old recently, like you're stuck in this remote location on a beach. Of course, that's more wide open, but you were in this little small area of a beach, right? Like in that movie, in that entire movie. He just does really well, I think, in those kind of settings, which I think is a lot different than a lot of other people. And plus, like, he does these things and like makes these movies like small scale. They don't have to be like super huge with a bunch of like CGI. It is refreshing sometimes to go and sit and watch a movie that's, for one, this one's like, I think, an hour and 40 something minutes. Like, so you're not there forever. And some of these movies think they have to be like 5-hour marathons, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? But like in this one, is definitely, you get in there, you watch the film, you see the story, as thought-provoking as it may be or whatnot, however you see it, and you get out and it's like, okay, cool. This is like a fun time at the movie theaters. At least I did. I had a fun time at the movie theaters with this movie. I give it a solid ranking of at least a 7. Like, it's not home run, knock out of the park. It's not like the greatest movie you'll ever see. It's probably not going to win any Academy Awards or anything, but not every movie that you see, every movie that you go see is going to be that type of thing. It's really great and kind of like soothing to go to the movies and see, like I said, this small scale like story that's being told and everything else. And I thought it was done really well. You have the 2 dads with a daughter, and they get stuck in a very bad situation. If you've seen the first trailer, where basically these guys that I had brought up a second ago, these 4 show up at the cabin and they tell these people, hey, you have to make a hard choice. You sacrifice one of yourselves or the whole world ends. Okay. And it goes from there. The tension's there at all times in the movie, like, which I think is really good and really super. Like, I have to be talented to be able to keep that same tension throughout the entire film. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a movie that's got jump scares and stuff like that, like you would see in a normal horror movie. And I wouldn't necessarily call this a horror. It's more like a thriller, you know, and a suspense, whatever you want to say, because like there's not this like jump at you moments or anything. It's the horrifying thing is putting yourself in that position and having to make a choice like that, right? So like one of the things that hit me is that, like I said earlier, I'm a dad. So like me being able to have to like be in this position, and it was like me and him, you know, and I had to make that choice, like one of us dies or the world dies. Like, what would I do, and what would I think about it, and how would I try to get out of the situation? You know, what kind of decisions would I make? That's what it puts you in. And I think if you allow it to let you do that, it can be horrifying, and it can be, you know, like I said, very thought-provoking, like kind of film to go watch and stuff. I thought the story was done well. I thought the acting was done well. Dave Bautista, like, to me, like he was on the edge, like who was going to be the best ever, like wrestler turned actor. He is the best wrestler turned actor. There's no question about it anymore. He knocks Dwayne The Rock Johnson out of the park. John Cena don't have a chance. This guy right here does an amazing job. He's played in multiple style roles, one where he barely talks, and this one right here where he talks probably has just as many lines as anybody else, but he does very well as the character that he's trying to play and everything. It's just done really good. And like I said, it was shot very well. And my overall score is going to be a 7. If you got the time, it's not a lot of time you have to put aside. That's one thing great about this too. It doesn't take forever for you to watch this film. So like, let's say you go watch it and you a little bit lower of a score of me, you're like at a 4 or 5 level. You don't hate yourself because of the fact that you didn't have to sit in the theater for 3 hours and then get a movie that you wasn't very high on. This movie right here is worth the shot to go see. And if anything, right, like, you'll be able to see a beautifully shot film, because I can say that for it. It looks beautiful. It's beautifully shot. Scenery and everything else, like in this remote cabin, is best you could probably do. M. Night Shyamalan just has the ability to do those things. And just like, I thought the casting was done pretty well. There wasn't really any like weaknesses, I thought, in like any of the actors. Like the little girl plays, like, I can't remember her name, but oh man, she's super good in this. Like being able to be in that situation around these people that are getting loud at times and the things that are happening, for her to be able to keep her composure and still be able to like act, was done very super well. Like I said, Dave Bautista done really good in this. And I would say the gentleman with the beard, the dad with the beard, he did as good as well. But like I said, nobody was really bad. Those 3 were the bigger standouts, I thought, of the film. And like, man, just go see it. Just go see it. Just go give it a chance. I thought it did really well. It's Knock at the Cabins. It's in theaters now. And I'm gonna be honest with you too. There's one of those things that's like, it is about, it is a movie based on like this LGBTQ, like, you know, 2 fathers and a daughter and stuff. And this is one of those times, like, this is a good movie with a good story, that if you want more of those things to come out, if you want more of these type of tales to be told, you know, with say representation or whatever, you need to go out and see it. Like this, it's got to make money. Like if the movies come out like this with stories with those type of characters and they don't make a lot of money, you run the chance of like not getting any more films like that. I mean, that's just the case. Like when these people make movies, they're there to make money. So like it did do pretty good. The first weekend was #1 at the box office. It did fall pretty well like the next weekend. And I'm obviously seeing it now. So maybe those numbers can jump back up with some word of mouth, or maybe we'll see what's going on. And check us out on the Entertainment News Break, and we'll be talking about the box office. We do that every week on Tuesday. But guys, thank you. Thank you to the Patreons who I had pulled up at the very beginning. They allow us to do what we do and everything, and I appreciate them wholeheartedly for what they do. And just and thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.